How you doing, YouTube? This is Viper here. Want to bring you another D2R video of 100 runs that I did in the Dark Wood while it was terrorized. Now, why did I choose the Dark Wood? It was actually kind of random. I showed up in a game one day and it spawned as Dark Wood and I said, I'll give it a shot. But also because there's other videos out there where someone does 500 Trav runs or 1,000 Bale runs or 500 Chaos Sanctuary runs, and these can drop some high-end items when they're terrorized, so I wanted to come up with something a little bit different and maybe get lucky with it. So I did all these runs on Players 1 on Battle.net with my Nova Sorceress. So let's hop in real quick, see if I came out with something decent, and then we'll talk about it afterwards. Alright, so let's get into some of the gear here. I'll go around here pretty slowly so you can see what I have on. But everything that I'm wearing does remain on for the 100 runs. The only thing that I do change up is this pair of boots here, which I do swap in for a set of War Travs about halfway through, just to boost the MF up a little bit. Getting into the charms, you will see at some point earlier in the runs that I don't have all these skillers. I did have a few mana charms on, and I eventually swapped another skiller in there just to boost up the damage. Damage on this setup is about 5,300 Nova, with a magic find around 290, so let's get into the first run. First run, run number 14, our first drop is an Ethereal Berserker Axe, which I didn't stay on long enough, but did end up rolling 4 sockets. Next run, run number 20, I find my only decent rune, which is a Gull. Getting into the next run, run number 24, I do drop a Grand Charm. It does roll as my only skiller of these runs, plain Barb Combat. Next run, we do get a Titan's Revenge, non-ethereal, but a pretty decent roll. After that, run number 29, we do go back and get this small charm. Nice little add to our setup, does roll 7 MF. Run number 32, these are known to drop Sunders, and we do get our first Sunder, which rolls pretty well. Perfect Poison. And quite a few of these drop. In run number 58, we drop another Sunder, and this does roll negative 64 magic. Next run, run number 61, yet again, another Sunder. So this is part of the Sunder run. I did drop quite a few of these. This specific one does go to negative 76 gold. And it's not over yet. I do drop another Sunder charm. This time a little different, negative 77 poison. Run number 67, you thought it was over, but I did get another one. This time does roll as a negative 74 cold. Run number 81, we do get another small charm, something to complement the setup again. 7 magic find. Getting into run number 88, Mercenary here does help us out in getting our first facet. Does roll a 5-3 cold. And on our last run here at 89, we do get an Ethereal Cryptic Axe. See if we can get some luck in the cube. 4 sockets, perfect. Alright, so we're done with all the runs, and yeah, I only did 100 of them, but you could see I found so much more on these 100 runs than I did in my last video where I did 1,000 Thresh Socket runs. So, a couple things to note. First and foremost, it is in Act 1, so a lot of the monsters are much easier. You can run it quicker, especially something like this Nova Sorceress, which doesn't actually do really well with endgame bosses. This was more in my element, so easier, quicker, definitely great things that you can get. Now, you're going to get a ton of Sunder charms. As you saw, I had a run where I got a bunch of them all, within those couple runs. So you're not going to have a problem getting any of those. But some of the other things I got did end up being useful. A 4-socketed Cryptic Axe that's ethereal does come in handy at some point. Earlier in ladder, maybe a Titans is going to come handy for a Javazon, and then a Combat Skiller is going to come in handy for certain Barb builds. So definitely more use out of these runs than I did in my last video. The only thing with this that made it a little bit difficult is overall, I didn't have the density that you could get in some of the other terror zones. Now, I went into this video knowing that was going to be the case, so it's not a surprise and I'm not upset about it, but it is definitely a drawback. So, would I recommend doing 100 Darkwood runs while terrorized? Well, probably not, but given that they were terrorized, it's definitely worth doing, especially if it's easy and you can run through it real quick and you might want to change something up. But more than anything else, I was glad that I did it. I would say if I had a stronger character, I would prefer to do terrorized zones of the Chaos Sanctuary or something where I have a little bit more density and could potentially come out on top a little bit more, or even cows, where I could go in there and just slaughter a bunch of things and potentially come out with some high runes. Because I think after 100 runs in some of those areas, I might fare a little bit better. But again, I'm not upset by any means. So I appreciate you sticking with me. As always, like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next video.